There was flames from the ground all the way up.
Flames tear through a three-story home. The fire could be seen for miles. The struggle for crews to fight it on the remote island.
Plus, a man demands prescription pills from a Walgreens. Now authorities search for that suspect. The latest on the investigation. And
violent protests turned deadly. Why this large Unite the Right rally led to a state of emergency.
Live from Southwest Florida's news leader, this is Wink News at 6:30.
And live off the top over the Sanibel Causeway, no traffic and little clouds to get in the way of the perfect day at the beach. Now, there is some rain inland, however. Wink News is the weather authority. Meteorologist Zach Malonga is tracking that on the radar right now. Zach.
Yes, Giancarlo, seeing a lot of shower and storm activity across our inland communities from Lake Placid through LaBelle, even through Immokalee, eastern portions of Henry and Collier counties, but look along the coast. Really not much. Even a mostly sunny, partly cloudy sky for us who live along the coast. But Lake Placid about to see another round of shower and storm activity just move towards the south, right along US 27, even US 98, and as those storms continue to work towards the east and northeast. Buckhead Ridge Drive for now, expect some showers and storms overhead of your area within the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. Lehigh Acres, though, Fort Myers, San Carlos Park, Bonita Springs, all dry, and the cloud cover really dissipating in that area as the showers and storms continue to work east of Immokalee, heading towards Clewiston and Moorhaven. So the full planner for tonight really showing the showers and storms stay in that forecast through 7 and 8 p.m. inland, becoming isolated around 9 and 10 and drying out for tonight. What's in store for Sunday? The forecast in just a bit.
Zach, thank you. A neighborhood rattled by gunfire. Fort Myers police say they're working a death investigation in Dunbar. Witnesses tell Wink News they heard multiple shots fired. This happened at a home on the 3000 block of Dunbar Street near the intersection of Paldo Street. Wink News reporter Chris Grisby was first on the scene. He joins us now with the breaking details. Chris.
Yeah, earlier today, the scene was much different here right back behind me. There are about 8 police cars, including the crime scene unit. And neighbors we spoke to today say they heard about 5 gunshots go off shortly before 10 a.m. this morning. Authorities blocked off part of Dunbar Street between Paldo and Wright Street. Neighbors say they saw a man's body lying in the driveway with blood surrounding it. When authorities arrived, neighbors say they saw police taking big guns away from the scene here. Earlier today, we saw investigators combing through the scene trying to find out exactly what happened here. Neighbors say scenes like this are just happening way too much here in Dunbar.
We heard a lady come out saying, "Oh my God, oh my God." It's like, wow, and it was close. It's too close. It's too close to home, you know. I just moved here, you know, and it's like really too close to home, and it's sad.
Yeah, Fort Myers Police Department are still calling this investigation an active investigation. We can confirm that one person has died here on the scene. As soon as we find out more information, we'll bring it live to you. But for right now, reporting live in Fort Myers, Chris Grisby, Wink News Now.
Well, thank you, Chris. And also breaking now, a man gets away with prescription pills from a Walgreens. Collier County deputies say a man went into the pharmacy and demanded the drugs. They say he got away with an undisclosed type and amount of medication. This happened at the store on the 6000 block of Pine Ridge Road, right off of I-75. It happened right after 3:30 this afternoon. Deputies say the man was not armed. They are looking for a man that's 6'6" and was wearing a green hoodie and tan pants. If you have any information that can help this investigation, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-780-TIPS.
Breaking news out of Virginia. Police are on the scene of a deadly helicopter crash in a wooded area in Albemarle County. This is a live look at the scene right now. Authorities say 2 people who were on board are now dead. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating. Count on Wink News to bring you new information as soon as we get it.
And a violent protest turns deadly after a car plows through a crowded street during a nationalist rally. The aftermath is caught on camera. Now, we want to warn you, this video may be disturbing.
Go, 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 go.
This happened this afternoon on a crowded street in Charlottesville, Virginia during a counter-protest. One person is dead, and officials say at least 26 others are injured. That driver is now in custody.
Moments after the crash, President Trump addressed the attack and the protesting. The commander-in-chief condemned the violence at a bill signing to help veterans pick their own doctors.
We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many sides. It's been going on for a long time in our country.
The National Guard was called in as the governor declared a state of emergency because of the protest. Wink News reporter Ashley Coram has more.
A number of people were injured during the Unite the Right demonstration. And not just from the fighting. Several pedestrians were struck by a car that slammed into a crowd of people. Thousands made their way to Emancipation Park, protesting the statue removal of Confederate General Robert E. Lee. The organizer says the statue itself is symbolic of much larger issues.
The primary three issues are preserving history against this censorship and revisionism, this political correctness. The second issue is being allowed to advocate for your interests as a white person, just like other groups are allowed to advocate for their interests politically. And then finally, this is about free speech.
In February, the City Council voted to remove the statue, but it's on hold pending litigation. The move follows efforts by communities across the South to remove Confederate iconography from public property. Many of those efforts were met with demonstrations. The rally drew a number of counter-protesting groups. The rally came one day after a large group of torch-bearing white nationalists marched through the University of Virginia campus, sparking national outrage. Ashley Coram, Wink News Now.
And right now, a family is without a home after an overnight fire. Video shows what's left of the three-story house reduced to rubble. Nothing left but charred wood and crumbling foundation. The fire broke out late last night on Upper Captiva on the 4300 block of Sol Vista Drive. Witnesses and neighbors can't believe something like this would happen to their island community.
You know, this little island is, you know, a little piece of paradise. So we hate to see something like that happen here.
You could see the flames from across the bay in Pine Island. Fire crews were taking boats across to help fight the blaze. The fire destroyed the one towering home and severely damaged another. Wink News anchor Channing Frampton spoke to the shocked community.
I was right over there cleaning the fishes with my godson, and he goes to me, "Hey, uncle, look up there. It looks like like flames or something."
And it's like, oh crap, it's a fire.
Witnesses described this fire burning on Upper Captiva early Saturday morning. The flames visible from 5 miles away. This is what they looked like up close. Video shot by Steve Evans shows just what the firefighters were up against around midnight Saturday morning.
There was flames from the ground all the way up.
Upper Captiva's fire chief Robert Kinnery says the flames and heat were so intense it caught a second house on fire.
You need water and you need the manpower, and we're just a small island, and we did the best we can.
But with no roads and no hydrants on the island, crews had to be brought in by boat. And water pumped in from Pine Island Sound to get it under control. And all Saturday morning, they kept the water flowing onto the remains of this massive house as the fire department moves in to try and figure out how this all started.
You know, this little island is, a little piece of paradise. So we hate to see something like that happen here.
An idea shared by many of the neighbors here as the search for answers continues. On Upper Captiva, Channing Frampton, Wink News Now.
The fire department tells Wink News no one was hurt during that fire. The Red Cross says one family is displaced. We're still working to figure out who those homes belong to. Many are attached to their cell phones day and night, but some of you had no service for hours. A Verizon outage affected customers from Port Charlotte to Bradenton. That means no calls or data for more than 20 hours. Verizon tells Wink News the outage started at about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon and was resolved by 11:30 this morning. They didn't say what caused the outage.
A case that shocked Southwest Florida will soon return to the national spotlight. 48 Hours will be re-airing its episode on the murder of Dr. Teresa Sievers from Bonita Springs. If you missed it the first time in February, you get the chance tonight. It's on Wink TV at 10 p.m.
Justice for Miles, a 3-year-old who died after being left in a hot daycare van for hours. Today, mourners of Miles Hill gathered for a 1-mile march to Little Miracles Academy, calling to change current laws to ensure nothing like Miles' tragic death happens again.
We need to bring some more attention to this. This needs to have legislation, correct legislation. And so I'm standing with the family today to make sure that we can make that happen.
Police say Miles was left in the car for 11 hours. The driver was arrested and charged in his death. 2 Florida men are arrested for stealing hundreds of protected sea turtle eggs from nests. Authorities say 60-year-old Carl Cobb and 50-year-old Raymond Saunders found the eggs in nests on Hutchinson Island in May. Cobb and Saunders both pleaded not guilty yesterday. If convicted, they could face 5 years in jail.
And all new, a couple arrested for malicious punishment of a child. Police say 33-year-old Danny Bullock and 31-year-old Amber Waldrop used a stun gun to shock a child and force another one to eat dog feces. Parker, Florida police say 3 other children are in the home that witnessed these punishments. Police say the couple lived with the 4 children, but the report did not mention how they were all related. Both faced aggravated child abuse and child neglect charges. And world leaders are calling on the U.S. and North Korea to act responsibly. Today, French President Emmanuel Macron called on the 2 countries to prevent any escalation. This after days of long war of words between President Trump and North Korea leader Kim Jong-un over nuclear missiles. Macron says the situation undermines the preservation of international peace.
A fatal fight between an Uber driver and his passenger. What led to that fight? All new after the break.
And smoking marijuana is linked to a quicker death, while you're more at risk if you smoke. All new, just ahead.
And rain showers remain inland while it remains dry along the coast. This view looking towards Estrada Bay coming up. What's in store for Sunday and what time can you expect the rain?